Hey everybody, this is a general tarot reading. Um, I really didn't want to do readings for each individual sign um, every week, only because of the situation going on with the quarantine. I just want to do general readings for a while, not permanently, but just so I don't know. I like to go with the flow of the energies. And there's a lot of messages that the energies are trying to convey to people. And I am in service to these energies. So I have to follow their lead, follow their urging. And um, and also, we are almost 6 months into the year. We are almost at June. Um, Another reason why, again, I wanted to do more of a general reading for kind of like the global energies. The summer months can get really hectic, specifically for Black and brown people. So, which is another reason why I kind of just wanted to do like an overall reading and give overall instruction. Um, Black and brown women, now is the time to um, really focus on your spiritual work. Again, June is our new year. We've done a full cycle around the sun, and most of us never really tap into those energies, which is why it always ends up being a bunch of chaos in the summer months for Black and brown people. And some people, again, this isn't, if you can't identify if this, then don't listen, turn the shit off. But again, I'm speaking from a point of view that I live. And I've seen every summer just a lot of death, a lot of bloodshed, a lot of unfortunate accidents that seem to just happen for no seeming reason. So again, people, protect yourself, protect your children. As we go into these summer months, protect yourself and protect your children. Be on the offense spiritually, not the defense. It's too late in the game for us to act like, we don't have time to be on point with things. Again, I have seen it time and time again. Summertime comes, and this is when you mostly hear about a lot of death, a lot of violence. Like I said, if you live in a predominantly black city, you will probably hear of the murder rate going up, or a lot of people getting shot and killed, or just shot. Again, just a lot of chaos energy, a lot of dirty energy gets thrown on us in these summer months. And again, most of us are completely lost and don't understand that these energies are here for us, but instead they get used against us. And again, if you're a person that you believe that the new year starts in January, you're exactly what I'm talking about. Now is the time, like I said, to do your protection spells and rituals for your family. I have protection rituals. I'm not going to give them out on this video. But if anybody is interested, please reach out to me. My spell work is a paid service. I do not do spell work for anybody for free. And I normally don't do it at all. But given the situation, and again, depending on who you are and what your situation is, I will work with you. I will, again, we can work something out, but it depends on who you are and what your situation is. The energy coming through this week. This spread I thought was very interesting. Very interesting. There are global powers that have been set up long ago that have been responsible for a lot of the problems in the world. A lot of the toxic masculinity, the war, the death. These global powers have created this reign of terror for financial reasons. And I know it's hard for a lot of people to believe, because a lot of people, you know, if you don't have this kind of thinking, if you don't have this kind of mentality, it's really hard for people to wrap their minds around the fact that people sit around and actively plan and strategize how to fuck other people up just so they can make money. But it is very real. It is very real, okay? Don't get in your feelings and think it doesn't exist because you wouldn't do it. It's very real. The important thing, though, to remember is that the time for this reign has come to an end. The time that these global powers have had to work out their energy and manifest whatever their energies were, that time is done. What was once on top is now at the bottom, and what was once at the bottom is now at the top. And you can think of these three global powers, just like in femininity, there's the three fates. This masculine energy has tried to usurp that power. And not tried, they did. But again, the time for that is done. And as things at the top, think of like an hourglass that has the sands of an hourglass. Like when you turn, once all the sand comes from the top to the bottom, and we've actually passed that point of where all the sand has come down to the bottom. Now we're at the point where now what was at the bottom is now at the top. The shifting, the reversal. And for you tarot lovers and you tarot readers, you know what a reversal is. I don't keep my cards reversed because I feel like I can identify what the energy is, whether in the spread. I mean, sometimes I do. If the cards just so happen to reverse themselves, then I'll go with it. But I don't go out of my way to... I like to check my deck and make sure that the cards aren't reversed. Like I said, if it happens, it happens. But a reversal is again a changing in the energy. So if it was going left, it's now going right. If it was going up, it's now going down. And that's where we're at with these global energies. And a lot of people, and again, I'm not faulting anybody, but a lot of people, it's going to take a while for us to actually recognize these new energies, to actually recognize what's happening. And it's going to be traumatic for a lot of people because, again, for centuries, we've lived under this oppressive rule. And to the point where we've gotten used to it. You know, we've made accommodations. We've normalized. We've gotten used to living in a world of chaos, of never being 100% sure of anything happening. And again, these changes are going to, some people are going to be affected in a good way. Some people are going to be affected in ways that they find upsetting. That, like I said, everybody isn't going to make it. For people that have really internalized this energy, you're really used to the way things are. There's a lot of people, you know, again, like right now you're looking at people and people are just like ready to get back. You know, people making videos on, you know, oh, I was so productive. I did this and I did that and I did this and I did that and I'm going to do this and this. Like, now is the time. Again, you got so used to this paternalistic energy of you don't work, you don't eat. You got to work hard, grind, do or die. You believed in that. You internalized it. You made excuses for it. Again, that's toxic masculinity. And I'm not saying that there aren't times when people shouldn't be productive. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is that life, the energies, our creator created us to enjoy life. And especially for a lot of you men that think, you know, nothing is free. This fucking life that you have is free. The fuck is wrong with you? The air you breathe is free. The water you fucking need to live is free. But somehow, y'all just really need to force down people's throat. You gotta be productive. You gotta grind. You gotta get out here. Do or die. And meanwhile, so many of you men grow up, you don't live long. You start losing your health young. You start having problems with your body young. Because you've worn yourself out and you've ground your soul out of your fucking body. Y'all can't even get comfortable relaxing. You can't get comfortable trying to be at peace. The only peace you find is doing something, working hard. And for what? There should be an intention. There should be a purpose behind hard work, not just hard work, just for character development. Or whatever sick reasons you believe that as a man you need to work so fucking hard. Or that you want to make everybody believe that they have to work so fucking hard. So many things have come along with this toxic masculinity. Again, short lifespan for men. Short lifespan for women because we have to live and survive and adapt to living in a society where men are just cruel and unfeeling. And not every man. Please, I hate when people do, well, not all, bitch, shut the fuck up. Like, when shit gets real, nobody needs you playing fucking devil's advocate, especially when you know what the real is. Stop with that bullshit. Just listen some fucking times. I know it's not everybody. That goes without saying. But when you need to address an issue, you have to address the fucking issue. And if you don't have the issue, then nobody's fucking talking to you. Some of y'all just need to y'all just need to insert yourselves in every fucking thing. But not everybody. Bitch. We know that. Stop needing so much attention. It's another problem. This is why I'm glad this shit is fucking coming to a fucking end. Because the behaviors a lot of y'all have is just fucking... This is definitely a sensitive time for a lot of people. But the water signs, and particularly Cancer. Again, I've said this before in a reading for Cancer. You guys are going to be the ones to really usher in a lot of the justice that needs to happen. Because justice is definitely happening. Like I said, you can see here, like I said, there are 3 kings represented in this spread. And these three powers, again, these three kings represent the three global powers that have justice coming to them. They have dark days ahead of them. They are probably already facing it. And these global powers are responsible for the trauma porn and the death porn that you see. It's like you can't go online without seeing so much trauma and so much death. And again, the whole game is when you're afraid, you are going to spend your money. When you are afraid, somebody is going to be there. Some commercial, some person, somebody, something, somewhere is going to be there with an offer of something for you to buy to make you feel better about your situation. There's the reason why there's so many ads on social media, so many ads on television, and it's always been. Get the book, The Process of Persuasion. And this is another reason why sometimes people don't necessarily understand what's going on. I studied psychology, and I made it my business to get into marketing strategies by psychologists and understanding how that works. And when you are triggered, most of us need some type of external help, something to make us feel safe again. So whatever insecurities and fears you have, those things have been being exploited. So you can spend your money. Again, for people who don't understand, like, why would that doesn't make sense. Like, why would anybody do that? For money. And again, when you live in a paternalistic society, a misogynistic, patriarchal society that dictates you have to work hard, there's no free ride, then you have to get out here and work. And that's already leaving you feeling insecure because the workplace is so competitive. So now there's somebody, oh, now you need to look like this. Oh, you work in a corporate environment? Well, you need to look like this. Buy these clothes. Buy these shoes. If you're successful in corporate America, you need to get this title. You need to work for this title. You need to get this many degrees. All this shit fucking with your mind, again, to get you to spend your money. And for a long time, we bought into this shit. And a lot of people still have. A lot of people still have. If you're a certain race, oh my God, black people are moving into your neighborhood. Spend your money and go here. Oh, there's a development happening here. Spend your money, move to the burbs. Spend your money on this big house out in the burbs. If you're a man, oh, well, men that have money get all the women. Get out here and do what you can and try to get as many women as you can. There's always something. From very small insecurities to very large. There's something out here that's going to make you think that if you spend your money on this, it's a solution. And we fell for it. So now what we need to do is try to assess what a world looks like where there aren't so many things feeding off of us, feeding off of our fears and our insecurities. Feeding off of the chaos, feeding off of the death and just the horrible side effects that come from trying to buy away your fears and your insecurities. You can't do that. So for people, again, under this quarantine, Don't feel bad if you have not been productive. You're not supposed to be. For everybody out here, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying what you should and shouldn't do. I'm just saying check your intentions and your motives for why you're doing it. You might have always wanted to start a podcast. You might have always wanted to start a YouTube channel. But if you waited until, this happened and you may have lost your job, or, is that really your intention? Or now are you afraid and you're doing something to alleviate your fear? You're doing something to alleviate your insecurity around this whole virus and this whole quarantine. Again, peep the fucking game. You have energy and somebody wants it. So think twice. Now is a time of slowing down. Now is a time of figuring out who you are, not scrambling for money, not scrambling for success. That's subjective, and only an individual can define what success is. This new energy is leading us to a restoration of family, a restoration of health, and a restoration of wealth. Again, as things turn around, all the money that was once locked away at the top is now raining down. It is a crime against humanity for an advanced society, for people in an advanced society to worry about how they're going to keep a roof over their head. It is a crime against humanity for anyone in an advanced society to wonder where their next meal is coming from. It is a crime against humanity for anybody living in an so-called advanced society to be ill and not know how they're going to get well. And for the longest time, when certain people would rise up, when a Christ figure would rise up and speak up about it, they would always get killed. And again, we are in a different time now. You can't keep killing off the best of us for profit. Y'all will die now. Hear me and hear me good. Especially for you people that always think needing a sacrifice, needing a sucker, needing somebody, needing a pawn. The energies are so shifting right now. I just want to urge caution to everyone. Be careful how you move. The Christ energy has shifted. You ain't sacrificing them no more. You'll go first. Think twice, Christians. Because a lot of y'all don't realize how complicit you are in your beliefs because you don't question shit. You read that Bible and you just swear, oh, the precious blood of Jesus. Oh, how he died for me. Bitch, you gonna die needing somebody to fucking die for you. That's not happening no more. Be careful. Again, know what you fucking know. Believing shouldn't be a lifelong thing. You should believe something until you have enough information about it, you've learned enough about it to where now it's not something that you need to believe, it's something that you know. And I grew up in churches where people had been saved from childhood and get old and never ever have questioned anything. And again, there was a time for that. And people are still holding on to a lot of things that were just harmful and detrimental to our communities. And the church was another thing that was there to, fleece you, take advantage of your fears and your insecurities. Oh, you don't know what's going to happen to you when you die. Come to church. Give the pastor your money. Donate to the building fund. Get on ministry. Be here Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And you'll get into heaven. And so many of us did that for years. Millions and millions, billions and billions of dollars have come in through the church. And we in our communities are no better off for it. No better off for it. And the sad part is, it's like so many men now are still not wanting to take accountability for all of the ways that their masculinity has been harmful to people, even if it's just your own wife, even if it's just your own kids. A lot of men, because we've lived in a society where men didn't have any accountability. Just like this whole little boozy thing, like everybody, and it's mostly men now with something to say. That was normal for a long time. And now that it's not, now all of a sudden men are like, well, these women need to be held accountable too. You're a piece of shit. Men that think like that and talk like that have toxic masculinity. And you can look at their lives and tell. Look at the men that say these kinds of things. Look at the men that all of a sudden want women to be held accountable. How do they treat their wives if they have any? How do they treat the women in their families? And I don't mean you may not put your hands on anybody. You may be helpful and everybody may love you, but how are you really interacting with the women in your family, in your life? You can always see these men. They always reveal their true colors. And something happens. And as horrible as women have been getting treated, for all the trauma and fucking rape that women have had to endure for fucking centuries, we get to the end of this shit and y'all saying women need to be held accountable now? Remember, y'all were the same men saying, you better get out here and grind and do it. You better do what you gotta do. Same men having some money in their pocket, knowing that a woman is out here struggling. Well, what are you going to do for me? But now women need to be held accountable. Women, please watch these men. Other men, watch your friends. That's another thing. And men are so quick to want to hold women accountable, but y'all know that it's men in y'all families, y'all friend circle, in y'all community that are fucking predators and pedophiles, and y'all would never say a fucking word to them. But women need to be held accountable. Watch the energies, ladies. Watch the fucking energies. Women are sexually dysfunctional and sexually deviant now because we've had to live in a culture where men dictated. We had no say over our bodies. None. But now all of a sudden, we need to be held accountable. And again, that was something for women. Men were used against us for our fears and our insecurity. And the church did that. Oh, you single? Oh, God doesn't like that. You're incomplete without a man. You need to get married. You're nothing without a man. You need a covering. Man is the lead. God made man first. And women be sitting around, oh my God. Oh, it's a sin. You can't have sex unless you're married. That's a sin. No man wants you if you've been tainted, if you've been touched. You got to get married. You got to do what the man says. He's the lead. And a lot of women walk around feeling insecure, never taking the time to learn who they are, to learn their own sexuality, to learn to be in touch and in tune with their own fucking bodies. Maybe you are called to be alone. Maybe you're called to be single. Maybe there's a spiritual work and a spiritual mission that you have. And most women will go their whole lives never tapping into their full power and their full potential because they believed that if they weren't married, they weren't anything. But now we need to be held accountable. Get the fuck out of here. This ain't shit behavior is on its way out, and I am fucking glad. It can't be over fast enough for me. Nothing is going to happen overnight. It's not like men are going to magically, stop being ain't shit overnight. Like, I get it. But I'm glad that this shit is changing. I'm glad this virus is out. I'm glad. Because again, without these things, we wouldn't do anything. Because we had never been equipped to. This is another issue that we have in dealing with our communities. Nobody taught us how to fix our communities. Because again, there are institutional power structures set up to keep you from doing that. Peep the game. And a lot of you, like I said, a lot of you won't be able to. You're too stuck in the old system, and a lot of you won't make it. And I'm not saying, like, again, this is a transition. It's not going to all happen overnight, but there are going to be more things happening to shift the mindset. A lot more changes to make you see that you are in a new world now. And there's already something, because again, people have already seen this coming. So there's going to always be people out here that are sensitive to things changing and sit ready for you to then rely on them. The new world is what you make it. Stop being afraid when you hear things like, oh, the new world order. That's just game. Stop being afraid of everything. These energies are now, like I said, these energies now are shifting. And again, be open to not learning but unlearning. That's the first thing that is coming through. That's what the energies are telling me, that people need to focus on unlearning certain behaviors, unlearning certain patterns. Once you unlearn something, your mind is now more open to learn something new. So be open to unlearning. That's the biggest part of the shift. We're going to have to unlearn a lot of things. Be open to it. Like I said, and a lot of people, you can't tell a lot of people something. There's a lot of people really believed in a lot of these institutions and power structures. A lot of people were more than happy, especially people that felt like, they had it all figured out, especially people that had money or defined their success with money. You couldn't tell them anything. It's like, I have money, you can't tell me shit. So we have to unlearn those, like I said, those toxic behaviors. And if you're stubborn and unwilling to do that, you're going to struggle. You are going to struggle. It's going to be a very sensitive time. And a lot of people, again, another thing, like, it's for men and women, but mostly men, it was unacceptable to be sensitive. It's unacceptable to care about your feelings. And that's exactly what you need to do right now. So you need to unlearn. A lot of men need to unlearn, you know, what the masculinity that you have been taught. And I'm not here to define masculinity for no man, just like no man can define femininity for me. I'm not trying to do that. Y'all have to do that. But what you find should leave you a better person for not just you, but for your family and for your community. Now, how you go about defining masculinity is on you. But like I said, the things you learn about yourself, this new masculinity that you learn about yourself should make you a better person. However you define that, however you know, again, that's your own soul searching. That's your mission that you have. That is the mission. That's what is coming through. The energies, the ancestors want men to unlearn this fucking toxic masculinity. But we are going to, like I said, get back to the things that really matter. Family, love, loyalty, friendship, health. Just getting back to what's important. The environment is another problem that we've had for a long time. Who gives a shit what happens? Like especially this country, we have spent so much money. We spend so much money on junk. And nobody ever thought to ask, what happens to all this stuff? You know, a lot of companies have just been taking trash and just putting it in the ground, throwing it out in the ocean, and we can't keep doing that. And our Creator wants us to, that's the thing, a lot of people, this is another issue, like the fear that a lot of people have of like not having their modern conveniences, not having certain things makes them afraid, which is why you have these companies, you know, handing these things to you. But again, the long-term consequences of having a bunch of stuff is, again, where does it all go? You can't burn it away. You can't bury it all in the ground, and you can't throw it all in the ocean. I mean, like, think about it. Think about all the cars that have been made and put into production since the inception of a fucking vehicle. Think about where all these cell phones and all these laptops go. We can be advanced. We just have to stop excluding nature from our advancements. And again, that was the way of the old world. That was the way of masculinity. Nature, fuck nature. You better put this trash in the fucking ground. We'll worry about this later. And now look. And now look. Again, the Creator wants us to be advanced. But we have to stop excluding nature. We need water, so we can't pollute it. We need air, so we cannot pollute it. And nobody has ever had a problem buying a car and not giving a fuck about what was coming out of it or where it was going to be once it stopped working and you didn't want it anymore. We don't give a thought. We don't give a care. And some people do. I don't want to make it seem like some people are on point. Some people have made it their business to, have certain standards and regulations when it comes to emissions and all this other kind of stuff. But it's still a problem. It's still very much a problem. problems that were left for future generations. That just goes to show, fuck these kids. But these are the things that we need to start working on. This is the overall energy coming through in this spread. That we have to stop letting our fears and our insecurities dominate us so that we can stop being taken advantage of because of them. We can be advanced. We can have technology. We can have great things, but we have to include nature in our process and in our progress. Period. And we can't keep running away from it. We can't keep running away from the things that we do to nature and think that there isn't a consequence. Again, things have shifted. Things have changed. And again, we have to get back to the things that are real. So overall, again, from this spread, look for, like I said, a lot more things beginning to shift. These two cards, again, depending on where you are with the energy, either this justice that's coming is going to fuck you up, or this justice that's coming is going to be in your favor. It all depends on where you are with the energy. It all depends on where you are with the energy. So again, use quarantine time to do soul searching. Fuck your goals. Is your soul right? Do you have spiritual debts? Think about it. Think about it. And again, if you are not clear, because I do life path work, hit me up for a reading and we can discuss prices. And again, for people that want spiritual work done, this is, again, I only do this in the summertime. Before summertime gets started, reach out for your protection spells. Don't get caught slipping this fucking summer. Again, even though the energy has shifted, there are still a lot of people out here still throwing that dirty energy at you, still putting out the spiritual wickedness. So please protect yourselves. And again, if you aren't sure, if you don't have, if you aren't sure about what you should be doing, again, please hit me up. I do not usually do spiritual work for people, but again, this is a different situation. And again, once you reach out, we can discuss the details of everything. But again, the energy this summer is, I can feel it already. Please protect yourselves, spiritually and otherwise. Take care, and please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.